Well, first half we were, I would say we were tactically a little open in regards to defending. We were over-ambitious, so meaning we were rushing things both when defending. We were trying to win the ball individually instead of collectively. I think that was, and then you lose a lot of energy in a game like this. Intense game. It was really hot. And we were trying to win the ball individually. The same when we had possession, it was too much individual instead of collective. We should have passed the ball quicker to make them run instead of dribbling it too much. So we learned a lot from this match, but still we did enough to win. But I would say this performance would probably not be enough to win Mexico in 3 days. So we need to learn from this game, and we need to be more like a team, even though we are happy with what is happening. We have now 2 games in a row without conceding a goal, which is always a good sign when you are in a knockout competition. So some things we recognize that we did not do well. The same with changes. Now we might suffer to have done the changes maybe a little bit late in the game. But it was more important to win this match rather than thinking 2 steps ahead and then maybe lose and concede a goal. So it's a lot of things going on in a coach's head in a game like this. But overall, I think we had a good team performance today, really a good team performance. And you could see the passion of the players. There was a lot of tired legs in the final minutes of the game. And Guatemala tested us in that area. So no, tactically I'm happy, but we can learn and improve both attacking and defensive.
Okay, so you guys just heard from Jaime Grimson, Jamaica Reggae Boyz head coach Jaime Grimson, after the 1-0 victory over Guatemala in the Concacaf Gold Cup quarterfinals. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. We're talking that big quarterfinal yesterday evening, Jamaica versus Guatemala. Of course, many of you more than likely know by now, Jamaica won the match 1-0, and we will be heading to the semifinals where we will face Concacaf giants Mexico. Let me give you the starting 11 first, then let me give you the stats, and then let me tell you what I think of the match. See, for starters, the starting 11 for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz: Andre Blake in goal. The backline was Amari Bell, DishonBernard, and Damian Lowe, and Javane Brown. So Javane Brown right back, Bell left back, Bernard and Lowe the centre backs. The midfield, Kevin Lambert, Joel Latibeaudiere, Bobby Decardova-Reid, and Leon Bailey, Demarai Gray, and Mikel Antonio were the forwards. See? So that's the starting lineup. Let me give you guys the stats quick and fast. The statistics were 18 total shots for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz, 11 for Guatemala. We had 3 shots on target out of our 18 total shots. That's poor. That's not very good at all. Guatemala, out of their total 11 shots, had 6 on target. Guatemala had 57% possession to our 43% possession. People, you know where I stand with the possession stats, people. Possession is not the end all and be all, but in my humble opinion, it is a major indicator of quality. Me personally, I don't like to see vastly inferior teams to us out possessing us. So, that's where I stand with that. Guatemala had 478 passes to our 357 passes. Guatemala had 81% passing accuracy. Our passing accuracy was 77%. That was a bit of an issue in this particular game for me as well, that particular stat needs to improve. It was obvious with when you look at the stats and with the eye test while you were watching the match that the passing stats or that the passing needed to have been better. 16 fouls for Guatemala, 15 fouls for Jamaica, 3 yellow cards for Jamaica, 1 for Guatemala, 2 offsides for Jamaica, 1 for Guatemala, 6 corners for Jamaica, 1 for Guatemala. Seeing we had 9 shots off target as well, and Guatemala had 3 shots on target. That was also something that I failed to mention. That's about it. Let's talk about keeper saves as well. Keeper saves, 6 keeper saves for Jamaica and 2 keeper saves for Guatemala. Jamaica won 13 tackles at 68%. Guatemala won 15 out of their total tackles at 65%. That's really and truly the main stats of this particular game. I played the clip with Jaime Grimson earlier at the beginning of the video because I think what he said is fair. This is the first game in a long time where I actually watched the press conference of the gaffer, of the head coach, before I actually did a video on the game. Because, to be honest with you, I never really quite know what to make of it, to be honest with you. Right? It was a game in which Jamaica seemed to have kind of been going through the motions a bit. And by the way, for those who have an issue with negativity, please clock out. This is the time for you to clock out. Seeing? Because I can't do the foolishness. People, I'm going to tell you what I honestly think about the game. Everything that I have ever said on this channel is my honest opinion. Seeing? I am not here to paint narratives. So all those who, you must keep it positive, we win the match. We're in the middle of the tournament, we want good vibes and people. I am going to keep it real. Seeing you just heard from the gaffer himself, the performance could have been better. The performance was a bit flat in my humble opinion. Right? A bit flat. The first 30 minutes, I thought Jamaica was very good. I kind of disagree with the gaffer a little bit there. He seemed to have think that the game was a bit too open. I think we were fantastic in the first 30 minutes. We were really causing Guatemala a lot of problems, right? And even though the game was open, when Guatemala was in attacking transition, they never really caused us that many problems. You know, truth be told, they failed to progress the ball very far into our half. So I thought the first 30 minutes was very good. We played at a very good intensity. And then all of a sudden, our performance just kind of fizzled out a bit. Like there was a clear drop-off, in my humble opinion, after the 38th minute. You know, I think the deficit in quality between these two teams is what got us over the line, right? I mean, you have a player like Demarai Gray who, despite not having the best of games, you know, could come up with that little moment of quality to split a defense apart and find Bell making the run in behind. Yay, Jamaica score. Seeing? But I agree with Jaime Grimson wholeheartedly. We can't play Mexico like this, people. We're happy for the victory, you know. And I should have probably stated that at the beginning of the video. Seeing, I am ecstatic about the victory and that we actually won the game. Things can be worse, to be fair. We won the game and we are heading to the semi-final. So obviously there's reason to celebrate and reason to be happy, but we cannot play Mexico like that and expect to get a positive result. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Even the coach said it. Even the coach said that the levels have to be raised. We didn't play that game as if we were playing a quarter final of a major tournament. I thought the performance was a bit flat and going through the motions. Individually, man for man, we were the better team. I think that was obvious. And again, that's why a player like Demarai Gray could step up the way he did. But as a collective, I know the Reggae Boyz can play better. As a matter of fact, I've seen the Reggae Boyz play better. Against St. Kitts, the Reggae Boyz was much better. Slightly inferior opposition to Guatemala, but not that much inferior. Both Guatemala and St. Kitts are on similar levels, if you really analyze the thing. So, you know, I'm sorry if I'm coming across as being too negative. But we harbor real hopes, tangible hopes of winning this tournament, ladies and gentlemen. I would just have to improve if we're going to get past the Mexicans. We just have to improve. It's just as simple as that. The team almost seemed a bit jaded, a bit tired, a bit like they ran out of steam a bit. You still saw the moments of quality, you know, where we attacked Guatemala and we created some really good chances, you know. Seeing, but we could certainly do better and be more and played more consistently well throughout the game at a higher level of intensity. Another issue was we had a number of plays that just broke down carelessly because of poor passing, passes overhit, passes underhit, passes just completely misplaced. The team almost seemed a bit jaded. I know that the game was a very physical game as well. Guatemala, you know, obviously when little team plays big team, that is obviously one of the tactics that little team tries to employ, you know, to kind of rattle the opposition team with a certain level of physicality, right? We're supposed to can measure up to that. Our team can be physical, and when called upon has been physical, you know, when we need them to be physical. You know, this crop of players is a strong group of players. You know, and from a physicality standpoint, can probably match any team in the world. Seeing? So, but the fact of the matter is that the performances have to improve for the Mexico game. Again, I'm very, very happy that we won the game. I'm very, very happy that we won the game. But Guatemala had far too much possession for my liking. And also, Guatemala had more chances than they should have coming up against a team of our quality. And that's just how I genuinely feel about the performance against better teams. We're just gonna have to improve, and we're just gonna have to play better. We managed the game relatively okay, to be fair, you know, but really and truly should have just dominated this Guatemala team, and we didn't. And don't tell me about performances against the likes of Guadeloupe and Canada that Guatemala would have done in the group stages, right? Those teams, Canada and Guadeloupe, are greatly inferior teams to us based on what we have at the tournament versus what they have in the tournament. So it's great that we got the job done. You know, we got the job done. You know, the ultimate goal is to get to the next round. But I think things have to improve, man. I don't mean to be negative, but that's just how I feel about the performance, man. Things have to improve, but I am really happy that we got the job done and we won the game 1-0. But against Mexico, man, we certainly have to play better quality. You know, we certainly have to just be better passing, better in the attacking third. We have to be better if we're going to plan on winning this tournament, because we could get away with a relatively flat performance like that yesterday because of who we were playing and because of the quality or the lack thereof of Guatemala. Guatemala has probably played at the best they could this tournament. As a matter of fact, I'd probably say Guatemala has overperformed in this tournament based on what, you know, the makeup of the team and the players that they have. They have probably overperformed. We underperformed in that game yesterday. Again, happy we got the victory, man. Happy we got the victory, but we have to be real. We need to step things up going forward. But I guess the victory is the most important part, to be fair. The result is the most important part, more important than the performance. I mean, you saw Qatar versus Mexico. Qatar had one shot the entire game. Not even one shot on target, you know, one total shot. Won the damn game, man. Crazy. Anyways, knock up like button, subscribe, and share. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and until next time.